Hi friends, I thought we'd do something a little bit different this week. Excuse me. My throat's been having a really hard time lately. I am filming this week a what I spend in a week living in Toronto as a 31-year-old. Sorry, I'm getting ready for work because I meant to wake up extra early. So, it is May 26th, so we'll be filming this. We're going to do a full 7 days, so we'll be filming this until June 2nd, I think is next Sunday. So, that means I will be paying my rent this week. However, I'm not going to count that in the what I spent this week, but I am going to here start with reporting a breakdown of my monthly expenses into per week, so you kind of get a full sense of my cost of living per week. However, I don't really count bills as spending because they're kind of a fact of life. So, to me, spending is, when you tap your card, buying groceries, stuff for pets. I need more concealer this week, cleaning products, clothes, stuff like that. So to me, bills don't count as spending, even though I guess they are kind of money coming out of your account. So you could define it as spending. But basically all that to say, I set aside money each paycheck, half of my monthly bills expenses into a bills checking account. And then on the first of the month, I pay my bills for the month. And I love doing that. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. I know that my bills are paid every single month. I mean, they would be, but there's no risk of something happening. So, with that said, per week, my expenses include rent and utilities. So my rent and utilities are combined all in one. I pay $1,900 a month, so $475 a week in my rent and utilities. My cell phone is $95.94, something like that, so it comes out to approximately $23.94 per week. My cell phone is the only bill that I'm like, but cell phones in Canada are super, super expensive. The country's just so huge. The network has such a vast area to travel, and there's so little competition. Then my internet, it works out to approximately $11 a week. It's $44.01 a month, and that 1 cent didn't divide very well by 4. I'm assuming there's 4 weeks in every month because that is the average. My car payment and insurance, which is hilarious given that I don't have, my car is currently parked at my parents' place. However, I've said this before though, I think it's sold. But car expenses work out to $104. Oh, I wonder if I need a slightly darker shade at the moment because we started to get some color again. But my car-based expenses work out to $104.70 per week. That's insurance. And the car note. I can't believe I used the word car note. We don't really say that in Canada. My tenant insurance works out to about $7 a week. My transit pass is $143 a month, and it works out to $35.75 a week. And Spotify is $14 something a month, and it is $3.60 a week. So things that I know that I'm going to be spending money on this week include groceries. I didn't do my groceries this weekend because I was drowning in my DIY projects. I'm completely out of this and setting spray. So, unfortunately, I will have makeup expenses this month. I am going to try and see if I can find something like this from a Canadian beauty company. We'll see. It is not a payday week, so I will not be spending money on lunches during the work week. I do have plans on Saturday. In exciting news, so I'm donating blood again on Saturday on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. And then I have my first ever PR thing. Mara, I should double check her name. Hang on. Mara at Touchwood PR here in the city reached out and offered me tickets to Arcadia Earth, which, if you remember my first, there will be more Touring TO episodes, I promise. Life has just gotten a little crazy. Slash, I always spend a lot of money when I'm exploring a new neighborhood, and I have had other destinations for my money lately. But reached out after watching my The Well and Union Station video. And in the Well portion of the video, I was like, there's this thing, but I have no clue what it is. Arcadia Earth. It's like an art climate change thing. I'm super interested in it. So my friend Claire, who took me to the Raptors game with the tickets that she had, I figured I owed her. So she's going to meet up with me on Saturday. So I just wanted to be really transparent about the fact that we're not paying for Arcadia Earth, because, and it's actually so ironic that this is the first, what I spend in a week that I'm doing, because I find it so annoying when influencers are like, this is what I spend in a week, but I'm doing this thing for free and this thing for free, and I got this stuff for free because I'm an influencer, and here I am doing a what I spend in a week with the very first PR thing I've ever had. The irony is palpable. Anyways, and so we're doing that on Saturday, which means we'll probably get food out. I will definitely be getting food out because I'll probably head straight down after donating blood. And yes, they have snacks and stuff there, but I get so woozy after donating blood, and I'm probably going to get a burger out Thursday or Friday because my ferritin is just on the cusp, or has been just on the cusp of the limit where you can donate blood. So I think that's why it hits me so hard, because it's not low, but it is not exactly where it's supposed to be. And then I need to cool it on the DIYs this weekend because I kind of lost my mind this past weekend, and I need to enjoy. The one thing that could happen, I'd like to push it, but it could happen, is I'm having a really hard time putting outfits together for work. I don't think I own enough work appropriate tops. So we might end up getting a couple tops. I could really use a white cardigan. So there might be some clothing in this week, but since I have to buy makeup this pay period, we might be waiting for the following pay period. Oh, I didn't put dry shampoo in my bangs before I get quite oily. So dry shampoo goes in the bangs. I use the headband to hold them back, and I let the dry shampoo kind of work while I do my makeup. And then I bring the bangs down, I shake them out, I take the blow dryer and like blow them back down again. As like my last step. So that's the plan for this week. There will inevitably be a couple coffees purchased, but I have my meal plan. Oh, I need to buy toilet paper as well. So yeah, that's kind of the baseline of where we're starting. Oh, I didn't total. I'll put a total on the screen of my like bills and stuff because I didn't do that math beforehand. Would you like to see how easy it is to spend $350? $100 on groceries, $250 at Sephora. Yeah.
let's talk about it. Since that's what we're doing this week. Hang on, let me get some light. Hello. Are you ready for your dinner? We'll do groceries first. This is $18 worth of cherries. Hang on, I'm not certain this angle is very good. There you go. Yeah, so that was $18.49. Oops. And then this is just for one of the meals that I'm going to be making this week. I've learned that everything fits better in my kitchen, easier to carry home. Red onion, cilantro, dos sweet potatoes. I am out of coffee and I'm trying to avoid doing another Nespresso run. A single avocado. I can't say avocado without quoting the Daredevil line when Matt Murdock teaches Foggy that avocado, or lawyer in Spanish, is abogado, and Foggy hears it as avocados and they call themselves avocados as well. I think that every single time. We got some salsa verde. I'm making sweet potato green enchiladas. Barf chocolate. I was out of cumin and chili powder, so that didn't help. Wraps, butter, milk, feta for the enchiladas, garlic, 2 cans of diced green chilies, a single lime, Monterey Jack, a can of black beans, and then this stuff is so good, the cilantro lime crema. I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but it was on sale. So that's my reasonable expenses for the day. This will get me 5 meals, this enchilada thing. And then how I meal plan and do my groceries is, yes, I know, we're almost there. I'm not going to use all the cilantro on this one dish, nor all the red onion, nor all the garlic. So the other meal that I'll be eating later on in the week is also like a Mexican-y flavored meal, so that I can continue to use the red onion, the cilantro, the spices, etc., which also makes my second grocery shop of the week smaller and less heavy and less expensive. I do try and front load my spending for the week. And then at Sephora, I went in for one thing. Another hand cream. They never have the big one of the almond, and it's so nice. Maybe I should go to the L'Occitane store now that I live near one. So I got my complexion stick, and then I actually bought the brush that they recommend using with it. I've been using what's Lady Gaga's brand? Whatever Lady Gaga's brand is called. I've been using that one, and I've been wanting a bigger one for better diffusing. That one's nice for like detail areas. It's a proper concealer brush. And then I have been looking at Violette France lip balms in particular, or lipsticks, for so long. And they're now in Sephora. And I got 2 of them. This has been on my wants list for literal years, since before they started shipping to North America. And that's $250.
Hey friends, I really should have put away that Windex bottle before I filmed both of these clips, but it is the end of Monday, and as promised, here I am in my confessional booth to review what I spent today. And what I have to say for myself is I better not spend any money until Saturday. So I wasn't planning on getting coffee today, but I think I'm actually starting to make a work friend. So she asked if I wanted to go get coffee, so obviously I said, oh my god, these bangs are my enemy at the moment. Anyway, so that was $12.26. We went to this place called Rooster. I had never heard of it before. The coffee was good. I got a coffee, and then we both got a coffee and a cinnamon bun each. The cinnamon bun was not. It looked gorgeous, wasn't it? That was $12.26. Then after work, as discussed this morning, and as you've already seen in the haul, I needed a new one of these. And instead of just getting that, I got all this. So that was $229.39. Yep. Okay. Moving on. And then I got groceries. And that was $144. So today, oh my god, I'm working from home the next 2 days, and working from home is like one of the number one things to do to save money, if you are allowed to. Today I spent $342.09. So, yeah. Anyways, see you tomorrow. Hey guys, I am just wrapping up the workday. It's 5:15. Worked from home today. So because I had to bring my laptop home because I was hoping I would be able to get something done last night, which I didn't because the approval didn't come there. Anyways, whatever. I worked from home today. However, I was going to work from home today and tomorrow. However, I do need to be in the office tomorrow. So I don't normally do this, like carry my laptop back and forth multiple days in a row. However, it's just making the most sense to do that this week. I have not left my apartment, which does mean I've spent no money. I do also want to show you. I know I've already talked about these lipsticks so much. However, I tried one out today. I prefer the other shade, but the finish on these is like literally all I've ever wanted in a lipstick. It's matte, so it doesn't feel as like fancy as a shiny glossy lipstick. However, it isn't matte in like a Kylie Lip Kit 2016 kind of way. Like, I genuinely don't have words. These are everything I've ever wanted in a lipstick. I am flabbergasted. So this morning I didn't do my dishes last night, which I regretted instantly this morning, as I always do. But I didn't do my dishes last night, which then meant that I couldn't make my smoothie this morning. So I had one leftover ciabatta bun in the fridge. So I made like an egg and cheese sandwich with the ciabatta bun for breakfast this morning, and then ate leftover black bean, sweet potato, feta enchiladas that I made last night with the groceries that I bought yesterday. Yeah, that's it so far. All I've done is sit here, and I think I'm going to try and get a little workout in. I do have a call tonight at 7 for volunteering, and then we'll eat dinner. Oh, I also made myself 2 cookies out of my bag from the freezer and an espresso latte for a mid-afternoon pick-me-up. The cat is begging for his dinner, so we'll do that. But today is a no-spend day, which is wonderful. Okay, hey, Wednesday, I ran out, or I'm on my last roll of toilet paper, so I stopped and got some toilet paper, and I used up my cottage cheese that I put in my smoothies every morning, so I also got a box. I I'm getting my period. I haven't had a regular period since my hip surgery, so when I get it, I indulge in the cravings that come with it. Just, in case that encourages things. So, bar chocolate, craft dinner, that's what I got at Metro. The bar chocolate was $2.99. The toilet paper was $14.99. The craft dinner was $2.99, and the big thing of cottage cheese was $8.99. So that came to $32.30. $17.98 of that was taxable. So I'm guessing the toilet paper, the craft dinner, and the chocolate were all taxable. Good morning. We've reached Thursday. I didn't film a check-in last night just because this is not the point of this video, but a TV came with my apartment. If you've been watching my apartment content, sounds great in theory. I hate the TV. It is the worst TV I've ever used, and my parents' old TV sucked. It doesn't stay connected to the internet, and we're in the streaming age, so internet connection is like the most important thing to a TV. So I got really frustrated last night and just did my dishes and went to bed. So, anyways, when I was planning this week, I forgot something. I forgot that we were having like a branch-wide in-person yesterday, Wednesday. It's pretty unusual for the whole team to be in person. They kind of live... See, when I was up north, nobody confirmed, like, everybody just kind of let me assume that they were all in Toronto, except for one person who was, like, very clear that he lived in Guelph. So I just thought that, like, everybody lived in Toronto and they were all in the office together all the time. That's not true. That's the exact opposite of true. Like, it's very rare that I see my coworkers, actually. So yesterday we had a branch-wide in person, and I got coffee with a coworker for $9.83, and then we went and got lunch, and that was $24.13. And then I stopped on my way home and got groceries and crafted at $32.30. So yesterday I spent $66.26 that I had not anticipated at all. So what are you gonna do? I mean, like, it would have been nice if, like, work had provided, lunch for all of us together and stuff like that, but it's not that kind. It's interesting because I had no clue that there were so many different types of corporate. There's the corporate that you see a lot on social media where, there's cafeterias and provided lunches all the time. And, like fancy coffee machines, and there's free drinks and snacks everywhere. And you can almost save money by going into the office because you can get lunch and you can get snacks and you can get drinks and you can get fancy coffees. I don't know if that's just an American thing. I don't think it is because I think it's like a finance and tech thing. That is not a thing in most other industries. And I didn't know that the other way was the option. But it's pretty rare to get a job that has those kinds of perks. That's why they're so competitive. They also tend to pay more than the jobs that don't provide those kinds of perks, which I find ironic. But yeah, it is very normal to not get lunch at work and like blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so if you're entering the corporate world and all you've ever seen are these videos of people being like, look what the lunch I got today, and this is the lunch bar, and this is the coffee bar, and I got a free protein bar and a free smoothie in the afternoon. That is not the norm. That is not the norm at all. Yeah. I'm on day 3 of my new makeup products. I love them. I wish they didn't cost $229 including tax. However, I am in fact obsessed. So that sucks. Anyways, today's plans. Remember how on Monday, after I spent so much money, I was like, yeah, we're not spending money the rest of the week. So there's this Pilates studio called Jaybird. They have locations in Toronto and Vancouver. And I have always wanted to go to it. It's like my wannabe wellness girlie's dream. But they're doing a collaboration with Nut Bar, which is a fancy smoothie place in the city. Where if you get there early enough, which is the goal, you can, and I don't know how many there are actually, so I maybe should have gotten there right at 8, but I'm hoping if I get there at like 8:30, they'll still have some. You buy the collab smoothie and they still have some left, you get a free Pilates class. So that is the goal. The smoothie will cost less than the Pilates class. So that's what I'm going for the first thing this morning, and that will be my spend for the day. It is, I don't know if, I've never been to Erewhon, so I don't know if it tastes like Erewhon, but it is Erewhon level smoothie pricing. Good morning, friends. It is Saturday. I don't think I filmed since Thursday morning. So let's backtrack. I once again stopped at the grocery store on my way home from work on Thursday night, and I think I said at the beginning of the week, but I wanted to make sure I got some red meat at the end of the week. Sorry, I need to focus. Because I was supposed to be donating blood this morning. So I stopped and I got some burger patties and a tomato and a container of ice cream. And I think it was like $30. $42.12. Okay. So, and also on Thursday, I was jonesing for some sugar. So I got a chocolate bar on Thursday afternoon for $2.25. So yesterday I worked from home, and I'm not sure how to count this actually, because I take out my cash, like my coins for my laundry, I don't know, once every other week, once every 3 weeks, and then I use it as I need it. So yesterday I did do a load of laundry that required going through the dryer twice because it was like sheets and stuff. So I spent $6.25 on laundry yesterday, but I like in my spending tracker, I log that when I take out the roll of loonies or the roll of quarters. So I don't know if that counts as spending or not, but technically the money left my possession yesterday. So $6.25 on laundry yesterday, although according to my spending tracker, that is a no spend day because it didn't leave my bank account that day. And then today, I did go through for a nice big walk yesterday, and I didn't take my wallet with me, and I spent no money. I need to get better about leaving the house without my wallet here. I used to do it all the time up north. And then this morning I got up and I went to go try and donate blood, and my iron is too low. So me buying red meat and eating all this spinach the past couple weeks has been ineffective. So it was just barely too low. So yeah, did not donate blood, but did stop
and get a coffee and a bagel on my way home. And I'm going to enjoy that now. And then I'm going to film my June monthly reset because June is tomorrow. And then I will go meet up with my friend Claire, and we are going to Arcadia Earth, which I got gifted. Is this the right word? Gifted PR tickets to attend. So this is my first PR thing ever. And I'm taking my friend Claire because she took me to a Raptors game when she got tickets through work for that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of cool to have like gifted tickets. Yeah, and then we'll probably, get lunch or a snack or something while we're out. But I'm not planning on extending this into the evening. I'm planning on being home for dinner tonight. So there will be a little bit more spending today.
Rich in pollen and nectar are simple ways to help the colonies that give us so much.
Hello. Welcome to the final check-in of the What I Spent in a Week. I've just done the math. But first we need to go back through Saturday and Sunday. I believe I already talked to you about the bagel. I'm pretty sure I was about to eat it or eating it as I filmed the check-in. So that was $12.74. And then the tickets to Arcadia Earth were free, as we've already discussed. However, in my outing to Arcadia Earth with my friend, there was a massive thrift market going on in the bottom floor of the well. So obviously my friend and I stopped and shopped it, and I bought, oh, hang on, let me get it and show it to you. There was not a lot that I saw at the thrift market. I was honestly kind of disappointed. But I have a navy, I think we're going to wear a navy outfit to an event in July. And so I picked up this bangle with the blue tones in it. I love a bangle because you don't need any help. I don't wear a lot of bracelets because I can never get them on by myself. So, yeah. And it's pretty delicate, and I like more delicate jewelry. And it's kind of like Art Deco-y. It's cute. That was $20.50. And then at Arcadia Earth, they have like a little markety thing where you can get like eco-friendly products, because it's all about, I don't know if I even described it to you guys. I didn't do any research on it whatsoever before we went, and it's about like conservation and consumption and waste and living in eco-friendly life and the bees and stuff like that. It's actually really cool. It's very interactive. Like, you have to have your phone and the app on the phone so you can like interact and engage with the exhibits. But they were doing free samples of the honey, and they had so many different types. But I bought the lavender infused creamed honey. I cannot wait to have this on some toast. I've been saving it. 100% Ontario honey. And it was delicious. He said it was really nice in Earl Grey tea, so they got me. That was $19.
And then we just went to the food court down in the basement of the well, and I got Rosie's Burgers. I was TikTok influenced because I literally saw a video of them on Friday night. I got the hot chicken sandwich, fries, and banana pudding. It was all good. I really liked the hot chicken sandwich. I think the fry, it would have been ideal if Claire and I had been getting from the same place and we could have split the order of fries. It's a big order of fries. It's also $5 for an order of fries. I kind of wish I just gotten the sandwich and the banana pudding. Oh, the fries were really good. And then the banana pudding was good. My mom's is better. But decent. 27.68 for lunch, 19 for the honey, $12.74 for my bagel in the morning, and then $20.50 for the bracelet. $79.92 spent on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I did my groceries, and that was all the spending I did on Sunday, and that was $67.45. So I'm going to go through my categories here. I'm going to start with groceries, but my grocery spend does seem excessively high. However, I do have 2 full weeks of groceries in here because I did my groceries last Monday and then this Sunday. However, my grocery spend is still way too high, even if So my total grocery spend for the 7 days came to $245.01, which is way too much money. My coffee spend came to $22.09. My eating out spend came to $88. And then my shopping spend is ruined by my Sephora trip. Came to $268.89. So I would love to have a sinking fund for things like clothes, makeup refills, but I'm not quite at the sinking fund stage of my savings. Basically, a sinking fund is where you set money aside each paycheck each month, and then when you need to purchase something in that category, it can be just taken out from that category. But typically that's something that like finance people recommend doing after you have a fully funded emergency fund, you don't have any bad debt, you've got you've got a good run on your retirement savings, etc. So my total spend for last week, not including my bills or anything that I went over at the top of the month, was $623.99. Which is too much. So I think we have a fun little interesting experiment in where my money went. I think it'll be really interesting to do one of these every few months, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I think it could be really interesting to see, and did not plan, like, just do them randomly and not not allow myself to prep for them. I feel like sometimes people do that. They'll prep for what I spend in a week, so it looks like they're not spending a lot of money. But I had no intention of, needing to buy a pack of toilet paper, which is included in my groceries. Maybe shouldn't be. Or like running out of makeup when I have a job that kind of expects me to look put together. Yeah. Because, like, if I hadn't had the Sephora haul, my shopping spend would have been $40. Anyways, I'm going to go eat some leftovers. I wanted to have something, like, cute and fun to say, but